Good morning, everyone. Let's bring up some charts, shall we? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get the show on the road. Just getting the live stream here set up. I should get one of those little intro videos so that you guys have something to watch instead of me looking around at screens like I've got ADD. All right. So, the pullback in the markets over the last little while have gotten some people a little bit upset. They're like, oh, how come I can't seem to get my profits going here? Where's all the activity Paul you kept on talking about? Well, I have to realize something about this entire operation. Oh, and that's not the window I was looking for. Let's do this and Brave browser. New window. There we go. All right. So, and you know what? I get it. You gotta have ice in your veins for when you're trading. You are going to end up entering the realm of uh, emotional money if you are just responding to whatever fears you've got in the moment. And I've got some videos back on my trading video from back in 2017, I think 2000, I don't know, this would probably be 2019, 2020, where I talk about the mentality and the paradigm that you need to have when trading. This isn't we're making educated risks. There's no question. We are assessing the risk, and we're taking our positions, accounting for the risk. And so, because we account for the risk, and because that's a major part of our strategy, is being able to recognize the cost of an opportunity and the potential of the opportunity, and learning to know when that cost is something that you don't have to feel bad about. That's the mindset that you want to have. Now, in some cases, there are people who are coming in, especially right now, because of the AI bubble and real world assets bubble. We've got this bubble happening with meme coins right now, and I'm learning more about that, and I'm absolutely astonished at how much meme coins have actually been a part of our culture for quite some time, just in a different form. More on that another time. But this bubble is attracting a lot of people who are bringing forward large amounts of their savings. And when they're putting their money in, and then we're seeing, a 20% drop in the markets, they're panicking. Their families might even be struggling, and it's been a last ditch effort for the husband and the wife to scrape together some money so that they can partake in an opportunity. And of course there's going to be some tensions when you put some money in, and then right away you've got this drawdown, and people feel stressed out. And I get it, I really do. And this is why, when I'm talking about trading, I'm encouraging people to remember that you should never put in to your account. So you're going to do your trading, you should never risk more than you're willing to lose. And if what you're putting in, you would lose sleep at night, it's not wise to trade with that. Think about it. Look back at your life and find a time when you were stressed out, when you were anxious, and you made a choice that it worked out for the better. See, normally speaking, that doesn't work out. I mean, in an emergency, you may be stressed, and so then you take affirmative action to avoid that emergency. I get that, but let's take a look at just generally throughout life. whenever you've been really stressed out and you've made a decision, has it worked out in the long run? And the answer is usually no, because actions taken out of fear, it's like you're going to fulfill the prophecy that you put out there with the fear, right? And I know that sounds metaphysical, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go metaphysical on you today. But the truth of the matter is that when it comes to the markets that move, you have to recognize that, especially over the last few years, arguably since COVID, the stranglehold that the institutions, the market movers, the bankers, the stranglehold that they have upon the crypto market is such that we're going to see the same type of market manipulation that we've seen in the other markets, stock market, forex. Uh, the manipulation that happens there is just as prevalent. The only difference is when we're dealing with foreign exchange. Let's just bring up for as an example. I'm going to bring up the United States U.S. dollar or Canadian U.S. dollar. So this pair gets traded frequently. This is the currency pair of the United States and the Canadian dollar. And this movement here, whenever we see this type of movement here in cryptos, we're like, oh, look at that 30% move, right? Because that's just the nature of crypto. But here, this is only a 2.2%. 2.2% across 6 days, right? That's not very much. That's not very much at all. And this was all based off market manipulation, right? Just these tiny movements. So over the last 4 years, the institutions, market movers of this realm have entered the crypto space or the blockchain ecosystem. And what they've done is that they've applied their same manipulation techniques to assets that are normally, like, let's go to the global 30 crypto. So this is the top 30 cryptos in the market, and we see a movement where it's a 21% drop across 3 days. The earning potential for the people that have been manipulating the markets for a long time has gone to the moon. It's blown out of proportion compared to anything that they've ever been able to manipulate before, right? So how does that manipulation occur? Primarily through the ETFs that are being issued on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, I don't have Bitcoin up anymore because I'm more interested in this than I am Bitcoin at this point, simply because Bitcoin is going to start losing a lot of market share in the crypto sphere because of the interest and diversification that's now occurring within the realm. And so Bitcoin, it's good to see as gold standard, but this actually gives me the crypto 30 actually gives me a better representation of what's going on in the market as a whole, because it's taking Bitcoin into account, but the other coins as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we can expect going forward, because of the concerns people are having. I want to make sure that they're not selling at this point. I mean, you're welcome to. I'm not going to tell you how to do this. This is not financial advice. What I do is that I simply share with you the trends that I'm noticing and what opportunities I believe can help benefit those who are willing to take those opportunities. And I simply share with you what it is that I've learned as I've watched these trends unfold since about 2008. When I realized what the digital ID was, and in 2010, when I realized what the global currency reset was. That's what we called the Great Reset back then, by the way, global currency reset. And everything that I've learned since then, that's all I want to share with you. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to encourage you to look at what's happening from a different perspective. This drawback, this drawdown rather, this loss of value isn't actually a loss of value at all. And the reason why is because I haven't realized anything yet. realized in the sense that I haven't cashed it out, right? I haven't exited the plan. My plan is still in full effect. My plan, if we zoom back out again on the global 30, my plan started, let's go on the daily chart. My plan started over here on the other side of the 2021 crypto bubble. This was incredible, by the way. This movement here, this was 2020. Here's what happened, right? This is right after COVID destroyed the stock market in February. Oh, look at that. I got bubbles now, balloons. So it is crazy. I've done so many things to stop that from happening. It continues to happen. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But here we go. Right after COVID started, the crypto 30 index was at 1200. And within a matter of less than a year, there's a 24x on the top 30. Then it dipped back down again. And when this happened here, I had friends calling me who had bought like in here, and then it dipped. They got all excited, right? Now here, I was focused on other stuff. I was really focused on helping people with non-compliance to the obscene measures that were being brought forward. And so I wasn't trading at the time, but I was watching what was going on, and I was looking for some patterns that I could use for future plans. And so when this happened and people started buying in here, I can remember thinking to myself, I'm glad I'm not getting involved, because I think it's going to drop, and then we'll see some volatility here, because that's just how it works. And sure enough, this happened and people panicked, and they were selling here. They were selling because they panicked. And because they were selling, the price went up. This is the thing people don't realize. If you're thinking about selling because the market sentiment is shifting a certain way, and you're on crypto Twitter or whatever, you're seeing all of these influencers talking about how that run is over. Thanks so much, guys. It was a great fun. If you didn't take profits, too bad. There's another ecosystem that talks about how the meme coins aren't going to survive this. Meme coins aren't going to survive this drawdown, this pullback. Memes aren't going to survive it. That's literally what people are saying. I don't want people to panic sell, because that's when they lose even more. Why? Because they sell, and then what they do, they're here, right? They put in $1,000 in. It goes up right away. They all get excited, and then it drops down below, and it drops down. What is this? What is this drop? I knew people that were buying way up here, and then it dropped 50%, right? So they start off, things go really, really well. They make 20%, they're all excited. And then in a matter of a month, it drops down 50%. And so then they panic sell. And then what happens is that the price starts to go back up again, and now they've got the fear of missing out, FOMO. So then they buy back in again. What do? They buy back here again on the way up. They experience this drawdown, and then people are all like, oh, don't hang on tight. So they hang on, and then they get that 23%. Yay! But I keep hearing about how I can 10x. Where's my 10x? And so they hold on, and then the price comes back down again, and they lose money, and then they sell out. And then you go through the dark night of the soul for 2 years, right? Now it's coming back up again. Look it. It's coming back up again. We found some support here. We just about touched that all-time high, and then we had a pullback. What did I say? What the biggest mistake was? People were selling on the pullback. That's the biggest mistake. They put in $1,000 here, they get $200, and then it drops down to $500, and they panic. The price goes back up. Now they only have $500. When they come back in at the price point that they first bought, now they're only getting half the position. Relax. This bubble is going to traumatize people who thought that it was a mistake to get into it. Think about that. How do I know this is going to happen? Because in every bubble that has ever happened, there have been people who have said that won't work. It's not going to pan out. And then they're proven wrong, and then they feel ashamed of the fact that they had no idea what they were talking about. I wish that I could take what it is that runs through my veins. I know that I'm wired differently, and being able to see what's going to happen in the future simply because of the pattern recognition that I've been practicing since 2008, specifically around the Great Reset, digital IDs, social credit scores, all of that stuff. All of this has been my focus for so long that I can tell you that this pullback has found support. In fact, the support is the previous 2024 all-time high. That's now the support. So what we have here right now is literally a bounce off of that support, off of that previous high. Whenever we see this breakout, it broke out of this resistance and now has found support. The way that you find out where you're headed next, we actually went through this yesterday on market analysis. You can go and check it out on my YouTube channel. And what we did was that we were mapping out how to project a target. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply it to this pulse right here. This is after the election. Oh, and my colors are all vibrant and loud, and I'm not really that fan. Okay, there we go. So a little bit more muted colors, but will still show up on the screen for you. So this movement here is from the election to this almost all-time high. Definitely beat out all the previous highs, and of course the old 2024 high. So that's the impulse that we're measuring. Here's A, there's B, and here's C. That C has come down to 50% of the full impulse. So this distance here has been retraced by 50%. Where is it going? Well, I have these targets set up here. So this one here, that is, oh yeah, okay. So these are Fibonacci levels. So these are just golden ratios, and for whatever reason, people are attracted to it, so it shows up on the charts. We use it to get an idea of where things are headed. So I believe that the next point of resistance that we're going to experience after this is the extension of this A, B, C movement. D is likely to hit this target right here. And I just use this tool as a measuring guide, okay? This does not mean that that's where it's going, but this is how I create a plan. So my plan is that when it reaches this level, this is the global crypto 30. So all of the top 30 coins in crypto. This is an index, similar to what we've done with the top 30 businesses in the Dow Jones. Top 30 corporations and their strength. That's what this index is. Top 30 coins and their strength. So based off of this movement, my target is that when price reaches here, I will reevaluate my position, and I will likely sell off half of everything. That's what I'm going to do when I get to this point here. That's my plan. Now, the reason I plan that way is because I also believe that this movement here, as beautiful as it is, and as far as it is, that's a 57% growth. Okay? This kind of growth in the top 30 is going to that's going to be experienced differently in these L2 coins, like the ones that are not in the top 30. These coins are going to experience a lot more of this growth. That's why I'm saying when this goes up to here, I will likely have 5x, 6x, maybe even 10x the money that I currently have in all of these coins. When I reach here, I expect there to be another pullback, just like we had here. And that's when I'm thinking selling half of everything, because I will have made a lot of money by then. I will probably have, because I'm already almost triple from the beginning of the year. And I'm very conservative at this, folks. I'm not aggressive. Okay, I'm not some special guy that knows a lot of things. All right, I'm really just a generalist more than anything. I'm not a specialist in anything. And so, I'm doing very well. And when I get to this point here, I expect I will have 10x many of the coins that I currently have. That's when I'm selling half. So I will have, for sure, at that point, I will have secured a 5x. And I will take the rest of it and I will continue. I will ride out that drawdown. That drawdown is probably going to come back to this pivot point here, because this was what was providing resistance in the past. This 2024 all-time high. Oh, sorry, this is the all-time high. Not even 2024 all-time high. This is the all-time high. When we extend up, we'll likely come back down and find support off of that all-time high. I fully expect that. When that happens and it does come back down here, I'm going to take that money that I made, that 5x, I'm going to put it back in. Now what have I done? I have increased all of my holdings by 33%. All of my holdings will increase by 33% after, again, these are estimations, obviously. That's my goal. And when you look at it this way, when you can look at it this way, these pullbacks are actually transformed. For those of you who've tuned in here a little bit later, when I first got started, I talked about how much people were panicking about the pullback. Not everybody, especially not the NextGen merchants, because they know how to identify these as opportunities. They know how to flip the script. A lot of people are panicking right now because they bought after everybody got excited. There's the election. Everybody got excited and then they bought here. And because they were so excited, they're seeing this drawdown and now they're panicking. Flip the script. This is simply the product going on sale again. It's not like the retail stores where it's like, hey, I bought this yesterday and now you put it on sale. I want some money back. It doesn't work that way. This is a completely different realm where you have self-responsibility over your entry points. Right now, this is a really good entry point. So the last thing you should be doing is selling. Because if you sell, you're going to make the price go up. Because someone is buying it and scooping up all of that lost energy that you don't like anymore. Someone else likes it. It's worth something to them. And so then they'll buy it and make the price go up as a result. So don't sell. Wait for the dumb people to do that and hold out. When it dipped down here, I was thinking, you know what? We might actually see some chop for the next couple weeks. And sure enough, there's that. And it's only been 8 days. This first dip here, this first one was kind of where it started. So we should probably count it from there. That was 19 days ago. But this dip here is where people are starting to panic. And that's been a week. We're fine. We're fine. There's no reason to panic. And I know that sounds like something Jerome Powell would say. But Jerome Powell has an agenda, and that is to make sure as many people as possible lose as much money as possible. That's his job. That's what he's hired to do. And so he's going to say those things because he wants you to lose all your money. Me, I'm not here to help you lose your money. I'm here to help you actually find and snipe these opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution so that we can take back our economy. I'm not here for the people who already know how to make tons of money. Let them go and do their scams and all that stuff. I'm here to make sure that it's the local merchants, the small businesses, entrepreneurs, the people that recognize that something's going to snap here pretty soon if we don't take action as individuals to self-govern our economics. That's who I'm working with. And as a result, this community is really starting to flourish because that's our focus. This is wonderful to see. This drawdown is equally as wonderful to see because it means that we can continue expecting to see results. If this high didn't beat out the previous high, we would not be having a conversation about this at all. In fact, the talk would be completely different. It would simply be talking about we'd be discussing whether or not this is actually a cycle. But when we take a look at the patterns that have occurred throughout history, throughout the last several years, I'm going to go ahead and grab Bitcoin again because this here is just, this is why I do what I do. It's all about pattern recognition. Election 2024. I've talked about this before. I'm going to show you for the people who are new in the room. 2024 election. It did this. This was expected. This wasn't out of the ordinary. In fact, you can see this purple line here. That was 4 days before the election that I drew that. Was it? Yeah. 4 days before the election. 5 days. November 1st. I drew this box because I knew that we were coming into the election week and we were likely never going to see these prices again. And sure enough, it dipped down a little bit, but then the election hit and we haven't looked back. But this was not unexpected because all it took was pattern recognition. Let's go back. Here's the 2020 election. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm on the daily chart. There we go. There's the 2020 election. Election happened, and the price never came back. It came close here. Dark night of the soul occurred because, well, there was Biden and all the other things, weird things going on. A lot of crypto projects were just working. They just had their, heads down, butts up, working at the grindstone, making sure that their systems were in place for when this next bubble happens, right? But then, that was the 2020 election. Go back further. Another pattern recognition. Another pattern we see in 2016 after the election. Price never came back. So these are the patterns we're watching. Now, I've also been watching for, another 8 years before the 2016 election. I had already started watching what was happening with the global currency reset, digital IDs, and all that stuff. And so when I see this happening, when I saw this happening, 2016, it was in here that I started trading, probably around here, 2017. Yeah, March, April 2017 is when I started trading in Forex. Why? Because I was noticing patterns and I was like, there's some money I can make here. But I was watching this, and I even dabbled a little bit in 2017. Like right here. Where is it? Yeah, August. Yeah, right here, where things just went boom and everybody started talking about it because Bitcoin went up to $20,000. $20,000. It seems funny. It's 1/5 of what it is today. And when this was occurring, I played a little bit, made a little bit of money. But it was on this way down here, in this area, when everybody else was panicking, that's when I made my plan to come back in. Now, when it came time to come back in, it was, in here. This was when I was like, I gotta get into this. But I didn't expect to have to help out with the small businesses. I didn't realize, I knew about the jab and how much that was going to do damage and all that stuff. But what I didn't realize was how much of an assault against the small businesses would actually, what the severity of the assault against the small business was going to be. And so I didn't end up coming in because I wanted to help those small businesses. Standing up, I guess I stood in front of doors where police officers, there was one time, there was a gentleman who asked me to come and help him because OH&S, Occupational Health and Safety, they were telling him that his employees weren't allowed to wear face shields. They had to wear face masks. And so his employees had shields, and they came to literally, in the criminal code, it's actually defined as assault. Of course, nobody who is assaulting someone under order of the government. So if the government orders you to assault someone, of course you're not going to define it as assault, but that's because you have the IQ of someone, maybe you have the IQ of your shoe size, basically, is the level of intelligence that you have, especially if you have a restricted firearm on your hip like the police. And that's who showed up. Occupational Health and Safety. We had AHS, that's Alberta Health Services, and we had the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. They were all in front of my friend's door, and I was standing in front of the door preventing them from coming in using the law. That's what I had to focus on in 2020. I didn't expect that. Otherwise, I would have caught this. I would have caught this movement. But as that was occurring, and as the mandates were coming in with the here's 2021, right? April 2021. Then we came into June 21. October is when the mandates came in, right? I still wasn't coming in. But after the bubble, the crypto bubble of 2021, it was after that. Then I was like, okay, now mandates are going on. Here's where the convoy was, right? And it was after the convoy where things kind of died down for me. I was like, oh, okay, good. I'm not working 20 hours a day at the computer answering emails about how do I stop my employer from assaulting me with this bioweapon, this experimental bioweapon of mass destruction. Yes, I am live on YouTube, and I'm not being taken down because nowadays it's actually convenient for the elites to have disclosure on this. So as we've noticed, that people can start talking about this openly without getting into trouble. So I saw this after the convoy was over, and this is when I started my planning for my entry. And it was 2022, 2023, that's when I first started getting into it. Isn't that interesting? This is when I started investing. So I nailed it. I did very well. And over this period here is when I really got in. This is where all of this year, 2024, is when I just backed the truck up and unloaded all Canadian dollars I ever made, and still to this day. I'm not interested in the Canadian dollars. You guys can have it. I am not interested, and I'll give you a case in point on why I say this is true. I went for steak dinner a few weeks ago, and that steak dinner, normally speaking, that steak dinner is going to cost, what, $150 for two? $160, maybe $170 if you get some nice drinks. Appetizer, 2 steaks, glass of wine for two, $170, $180. You know how much that meal cost me? About $30. You see, the Canadian dollars I used to pay for that dinner, I put in towards the beginning of the year. So that $30 that I put in ended up becoming $150, whatever. I didn't do the actual math on it. But that's how you need to start thinking when it comes to these market movements. I'm not here for, yes, I'm here for short-term gains. Don't worry, this is a bubble. So I'm here for some short-term gains. But I'm also recognizing how patient you need to be for the short-term gains to appear. This is mindset. And I encourage you, if you get a chance, go back through some of my old, actually, you know what? I don't think that my trading YouTube channel is actually the same as the channel that I currently broadcast to. I'll find those videos and I'll put it up in my Telegram. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and bring things to a close here and then open things up for the private community. If that's something that you're interested in, if you'd like to learn more about these opportunities that we have in the fourth industrial revolution, we are pioneering it. So as pioneers, kind of like at the ground floor, if that's something of interest to you, go to my website. I'll just quickly throw this in. Oops, there we go. Go to my website, manknownasppaul.com. And if you go to connect, right here, manknownasppaul.com/connect, you can get all the links there. You can book a time with me. You can join our Telegram channel. Use also the link to come and join us in studio for live market analysis is also there. So feel free to go to that site, connect with me, and let's get your journey started. So thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for the day, and we'll see you Monday morning.